All right, so it is early March and our spring cleanout season has officially kicked off. Some of you guys might remember this pond from our vlog that we did. This is a pond that we rebuilt about a year ago. It's an 8x10 pond with a stream. They called us up and they want to get on our schedule for our spring cleaning. That's what we're here to do today. So I'm expecting to see some string algae growing in the pond, see some leaves down in the bottom. Even though we did net it, some leaves always seem to get in there. We should see the fish acting calm down at the bottom of the pond. This is an excellent time to get in there because the water temperature is well below 50 degrees. So the fish are kind of more sluggish and that makes them easier to handle and they don't stress as much. So we're gonna pump this pond down, get all the water moved over into our holding tanks, get the fish over there nice and calm, lower their stress, clean the biofilter, clean the skimmer, check the pump, and power wash and vacuum this thing out and get it ready for spring. This is also a time where we're gonna check the plants that we planted last year to make sure that they're still an appropriate size for this pond. Aquatic plants tend to really thrive in these ecosystems. We wanna make sure that they don't take over the pond whenever season really gets going. So that's what we're gonna work on now. We've got some, I can kind of see it behind me right here. We got some string algae growing, but that string algae is really common this time of year. And we call it seasonal string algae. And just because you have algae in your pond does not mean that something's wrong or that your ecosystem isn't working or your filter's not working. It's actually Mother Nature's way of coming in and taking care of that water quality for us while the bacteria is dormant and the plants are dormant. As the fish start to kind of enjoy some of those warmer temperatures that we have in spring, the algae has a free pass to soak up all that nutrients in there. So there's nothing really stopping or slowing it doing. So coming in, doing a spring clean out, getting all that nutrients and everything that's contributing to that bio load out of the pond is a great way to combat that. Right, David is bringing back the vacuum. We're gonna start getting this thing pumped down. This is one of our holding tanks. This holds 500 gallons of water, which is about how big this pond is here. Once it's pumped down, we're gonna safely move the fish over into the holding tank. This is a perfect time to do that because the water is nice and cool. The fish are a little more sluggish, so they're easier to handle. They don't stress as much, and they're gonna sit quietly over here while we clean out their pond. Once we get everything pumped down, we're gonna manually go through and remove any kind of leaves, big chunks of algae, trim back the plants, clean the biofilter over here, clean out the skimmer and the pump, vacuum all the sludge and fish waste and stuff from the bottom of the pond. The reason we like to do this in early spring, late winter is because everything in the pond is dormant. The plants are dormant, the bacteria is dormant. So it gives us an opportunity to come in, clean out everything, get the fish moved over safely. And then once everything's clean, we get to reintroduce the fish and the original pond water here in the next few weeks. When these water temperatures start getting a little bit warmer and everything starts to come back alive, the pond's already clean and we don't have to worry about coming in and disrupting bacteria while it's already colonized and having to reset the biofilter. Waterfall's turned off, so we'll go ahead and remove this net. That's a disposable net, so we'll get that rolled up, thrown away. We'll start pumping this pond down and get those fish moved over and we'll get to work. Okay, so we're pumping down our pond. We've got just a little bit of water left in there, just enough to cover up the fish, and now's the perfect time to stop pumping it down, and we're gonna safely catch these fish and move them over into their holding tank while we get the pond cleaned out. All right, we got the pond pumped down for the most part. Look at all that string algae. This is the time of year for it though. So we're gonna get in here, get this cleaned out. A lot of this is probably gonna be easier to move by hand. We'll just kind of peel it off like a wet newspaper probably. And then we're gonna vacuum out this, go through and pick out any of the leaves that we can get by hand. And then we'll set that power washer up and get this going. David is cracking open this biofilter. We're gonna get to it. It's time to get that cleaned out. So just gonna scooch away some of this. Whoa, look at that guy. Ooh, begging.
What you doing here?
Hanging out.
It's cold, huh?
Yeah, he is.
But he's cold.
Set him aside.
Look at his feet. Oh, whatever.
See if he wants to watch us clean out his biofilter. All right. Take our bio balls, set those aside. And then here's our 2 filter pads. Probably get those replaced, but now we'll just clean out that, give it a good vacuum. All right, so David's getting the biofilter hidden back up, looking good. Time to get this skimmer cleaned out. So I don't think that was there on purpose, but get this skimmer basket out of here. Got some leaves. Let's get that vacuumed out and see what we got. Biofalls all cleaned out. Put the lid on. Final rinse and clean. Everything's up and running. Everything looks great. Water's a little cloudy because when we move 500 gallons of water back into a pond pretty quick, it seems to stir it up. So within a day, sometimes a day and a half, this thing will be crystal clear. Be able to see straight to the bottom. So I'm going to come back by here in a little while, probably tomorrow, and then take a follow-up video and show you guys how awesome this pond looks from a before and after standpoint. All right, so it's been 1 week since we were over here, cleaned out this pond, got everything cleaned up, ready for spring. Wanted to stop in and see how it looks, and bet it's beautiful. All right, look at that. You can see all the way to the bottom. It's beautiful. Some lilies still here. Those will be, we should expect those to come up here in the next few weeks, start putting on some new pads, start growing in. Everything is looking perfect.